Hi, everybody. This is Erin Anding here today, and we're starting a new little series about Google Slides. I've had several people request information about Google Slides. So before we even get into the idea of how does one present, how does one put a hyperlink in, what should be involved in a Google Slide, I thought I would give this little presentation for a few minutes, which is a design rule for your slide presentations. Okay. And this design rule has been around for about a decade and a half, which in the world of technology is huge when things change every minute. The fact that this one's been around for about a decade and a half is big. It was originally obviously designed for PowerPoints, but nowadays there's many other ways to present. So let's see what it is. And the rule is very, very simple to remember. And it is the 10, 20, 30 rule. So 10, 20, and 30. And was developed by literally by a guy named Guy Kawasaki, who had to listen to pitches for businesses and stuff like that. And he had a problem with the fact that they were filled with font, they were filled with dense text, people were reading, everybody was zoning out. And so he presented the 10, 20, 30 rule, which was started for business presentations, but is now often in a whole bunch of other stuff. And here it is. 10. No more than 10 slides in a presentation, which obviously I have cut off the word presentation, but no more than 10 slides in a presentation. So if you can't fit in 10 slides, you've got too much. Cut it down. Main points only. 20. The presentation lasts no more than 20 minutes. Okay. We all know that our students have very little attention span with lots of things competing against them. I remember being told that I could not give a presentation for more than 15 minutes when I was a student teacher, and I just did not comprehend that because I knew I had had teachers who talked to me longer than that. And about midway through student teaching, I came to understand why I was told I could only speak for 15 minutes. So the presentation should last no more than 20 minutes. Last but not least, all writing should be a minimum size 30 font. Okay, now this one's interesting because if you actually just start typing into a PowerPoint or a Google slide, usually the font is not 30. It'll be somewhere between like 18 and maybe 24. But his proposal is that it should be a size 30 minimum, so that when people are looking at it, they're not squinting to see what you wrote. It also forces you to not put nearly as much onto a slide, so you have to actually know rather than reading or just regurgitating to them. So, does this rule still apply today? Obviously, we've gone way past the world of PowerPoint. We're into a whole bunch of other presentations. And, in the world of technology, a year is a really long time, let alone a decade and a half. This person is by no means an expert, but I went looking to see. And the answer is, at least according to somebody, from just this year, just a couple weeks ago, April 18th, 2020. Obviously, we'd have to decide if the person is, an expert or not, but this person thought it was. In fact, they thought it was perhaps even more relevant because, a decade and a half ago, we didn't have social media and other things like that. The attention span of everybody is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. They want you to give them the point, the main idea, and move on. So in that case, a 10, 20, 30 rule still applies. So remember, 10 slides, 20 minutes or less for a presentation, at least a minimum size 30 font. They all kind of work together. If you do that, hopefully you'll have a presentation that will be interesting to any particular audience member that you have. Thank you so much.